Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil, and I am Sybil Wilkes, and my partner in crime, Yolanda Starks White, is here with me today. Hello,
Hello.
Yolanda.
Hello, the beautiful and
How are
talented
you?
Sybil. Great. How are you?
I am. I'm good, thank you. Aprylete is not able to join us today. She has a previous engagement, and so it's going to be the twos of us today.
And
And
Sybil, I'm all you need.
that is true. That is true. Don't tell the others, but that is
Okay.
true.
Are you delayed? Can you hear me?
I'm sorry.
Am I delayed? Can you hear me? Never mind. You got
Um, I,
to
I, I
spill.
think I think we do have a delay. Chica might be able to confirm that, but I think we do have a bit of a delay, a bit of a lag, as it were. But we'll be okay. We'll be just fine. We don't, as we said, oh, we have each other. That's all we need. We don't have anybody else to include in this, so we will be just fine. We
So let me
are
ask you some
on the road.
housekeeping. Let me ask you some housekeeping. Are you plugged into the hotel's Wi-Fi, or are you plug into your hotspot? Why do you always use the hotspot? Why not use the hotel?
Because I'm security conscious.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Thank you for asking me about that. did you
Funny I
did
should
you read the
mention that.
newsletter today?
Okay. Proceed, most definitely. Okay. And she
And
is
there I go.
frozen. Okay.
That's funny. That's funny.
Okay.
Uh,
So
we are
we're gonna do
at the
this
merch booth.
live, and we're
Uh-huh.
just gonna do this live. I need for you to go down to your icon at the bottom. I need
Hmm.
you to click on your internet, and I need for you to plug into the hotel. Chica, don't get mad. Plug into the hotel. All you got to do is put your name. Well, you didn't. I didn't even have to do that one at this hotel. It just
Okay.
connects automatically.
Okay. Well, you keep talking while I do this, while and keep the people entertained, won't you?
Um,
Hmm.
that's not my forte. That's
Nor
not
your
what I do.
comfort.
What my job is to tell you what to do.
Oh, yes, that's
How am I
true.
doing? How am I doing with that?
How's that working for you? Yeah.
It's working. It's working very good. Well, as people are coming in,
Okay.
we'll get it together. But Sybil, we're getting some love from our family in the comment sections.
Oh,
They love me
good.
and you together.
Aw.
And I love being here. It's just when you got your other friends, you don't need me. You one of
I,
those friends. You only want me when your other friends not around. Y'all, I am so glad Sybil gave me an opportunity. Uh-oh, Sybil, AJ Mind Plus just told us that most hotel Wi-Fi's don't have VPN protection.
see,
I don't
see,
even know what is VPN.
a very important, very personable numbers.
Hey, Sybil, hold on. Carolyn Jones Jameson, oh, y'all so messy, said you're the stepchild. Y'all are messy, but
you,
you're right.
you know what? She's the only child. She was.
Okay, but you sound good now. Did you plug in?
Uh-huh.
Oh wow, you didn't even go off. Uh-oh. Antonio Wu Tang Bivan said if you ain't got it, you need VPN. Wow. Virtual private network.
Okay.
All right, Chica, you need to check on us getting a virtual private network. Is this something we can buy or do the hotels offer it?
There's always something to be bought.
I know, right?
But
Isn't
Chica probably has VPN. She just doesn't tell us.
it? Right. Right. Okay, you're good now.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So here we are, coming to the end of our week. We had a great time in Washington, D.C. We're now in Chicago. And when I tell you, Chicago is a wash in pink and green.
Yes. It's
baby.
beautiful. It is
It
beautiful.
is a sight to behold to see all of these women coming in and just having a great time with their sorors of Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority, and we're going to be participating in a panel with them in the morning, and along with our friends at where who are we here with
AARP.
ARP? Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
So we
It's
are.
been a long day.
It has been a long day and
Yeah.
and a long couple of days, but it's all good. A beautiful day in Chicago. After
Yes, yes,
from what I understand, it is a beautiful day. It's a little chilly by
it's
the
cold
lake.
here.
It's not cold.
Sybil, when we got on the plane, when we were in
DC.
DC, they said that it was 64 degrees. It can't be 64 degrees in in the United States in July.
No, it's probably 74 degrees. It felt really nice walking. We went up to get a bite to eat, and it was absolutely lovely. She said, "Isn't that cold to you?" And I was like, "No, it
It's
really is.
cold.
It's really quite lovely. It's always cooler by the lake, as they say, but it is absolutely beautiful. It's 76 degrees right now.
Yeah, well, it's 103 in Dallas.
I take the 76 any day.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So God, it's almost a 30-degree difference.
Yeah.
Wow.
And a
That's a
difference in
lot.
attitude too, because there's nothing like some hot, sweaty people just miserable from the heat.
That's true. Okay, you're right. You win.
Uh,
You
so,
you win.
so we are here for this event tomorrow, and then next week I travel to Indianapolis to be and fair is fair with the Deltas, and I'm very very pleased to be joining them as well. So it's all good. It's
Yeah.
all good. And Yolanda has been shepherding me around and getting me to place on time and feeding me. I always think about this when we are on the road. I always eat better
Mm.
when we're on the road. I eat a soup and a salad and an entree and enough entree left over for the next day or sometimes in the middle of the night. But it's good living
And lots of water.
and lots of water. Oh
Stay hydrated.
and run into the bathroom. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And for those people who are on the middle and the aisle seats in American Airlines.
Sybil. So wait, Sybil.
Mhm.
Something was wrong, and I think my bladder was trying to be funny because before we got on the flight, we were actually delayed getting on the flight. I
Mhm.
had to use it.
Right.
And when we sat down, I had to use it so bad. I really thought my bladder was going to burst open. I was like, oh my God. I created all of these scenarios in my mind where I was going to jump up and they were going to tell me that you have to sit down. And I'm like, no, I got to go right now. And
Gotta
then
go, gotta go, gotta
I
go right
just
now.
use it on myself. And then how they react. I went through all of that because I really
Oh
had
my
to use it.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
And then
did
I had to go
hustle.
again for an hour and a half flight. I had to go again.
And then once we got off the
And
plane,
once we got off the flight.
and she's like, "You don't have to go, huh?"
Right.
I guess I
Sybil
should.
never has to. She never have to pee. Excuse the talk. She
I
never has to. I'm
but
like,
what
you
but
don't have to go.
what did I always say? Yolanda, don't hold your pee.
I know. Well, when the plane is about to take off, you have to hold your pee.
Well, go before.
Yes, ma'am.
And I want to thank all the people who are doing their jobs and everybody else's job and telling us that bag's not gonna make it in the
Oh
overhead.
God, that's just so annoying.
It really is. God bless you. And I anyway, so here we are. We made it. We got on an earlier flight, made it, got stuff done, and here we are. So I'm really glad. And it really is a beautiful day in Chicago,
Yeah,
and,
it
and,
is.
and Chicagoans know what I mean. It is 76 degrees, sun is shining, and last night does not look like. Today does not look like you all had a tornado go through here last night.
Right. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so. Does Chicago not get tornadoes? 'Cause, I mean, that's all the news is talking
Oh,
about.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Chicago will get a tornado for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And
Well, why
growing
is
up
it
is
such a big deal?
I think the way that it came in and the way
Oh,
that people didn't seem to be prepared for it, and that's what I gathered from listening to some of the news reports last night. And people were in different places, and the alarms did not go off like in
oh,
hospitals, and there was no really no understanding of how to move forward in the face of a tornado. And it was a number of tornadoes that touched down, especially by O'Hare Airport, and there's a lot of activity, a lot
oh,
of traffic there, right? And from my understanding, they don't take people off the plane when there's a tornado. They they
ooh,
sit on the plane.
oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah. If anyone has ever had that experience, please let me know. But that's what I understand they did last night. So,
Wow. Mm.
mm-mm, mm-mm. Let's move to the What You Need to Know newsletter. This is our Monday through Friday newsletter, which we seek to inform and empower people and to super serve the African American community with our stories. Some of the stories don't necessarily think, well, what does this have to do with me? But sometimes, if you think about the bigger picture and how we fit in as smaller cogs in the wheel, as it were. So the big picture, the big wheel, and the smaller
Smaller what?
cogs in
Spell
the
that?
wheel. COGS,
Cogs. Okay.
cogs in the wheel. Um,
That's not a big A word, but maybe that's a word that you can put for the big A word because
okay, okay, I'll do that. Thank you, and thanks to Olivia for all that she does to help us with big A words. Um, so today's my story today is an example of that, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But first, I want to talk about what our mental health and wellness contributor Aprylete Russell is talking about, the 988 hotline number. This
right.
is something we talked about a while ago. The existence, the implementation of this 988 number. People don't have to call 911. They call 988 to get some help for a mental health issue. This month marks 1 year since the launch of the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline across the country. And despite the increasing volume of calls, data shows a significant gap, wouldn't you know, in the awareness, with Black folks being
Wow.
less likely to use the 988 hotline compared to their white counterparts. A
Wow.
survey of 5,000 adults conducted by the Pew Charitable Trust revealed that only 13% of the respondents were aware of the national 988 lifelines, and a striking disparity emerged between comparing awareness levels between white and Black individuals. Twice as many white folks were aware of the 988 hotline, thus highlighting a critical gap in reaching Black communities. So 988, you don't have to call 911. 988, you are supposed to be able to call this number and to be connected either to a counselor or someone who can counsel you. And if there is an issue, to report it to the authorities so that they can come, and not necessarily the police department to come, because as we have seen numerous times, bless their hearts, they're not prepared. They're not fully equipped to take on some of these issues that are mental health related, and unfortunately, even more so to the point, people have been known to lose their lives as a result of this lack of preparation for it. So, check out Aprillette's story
So one of the things
about
that
the
she said
988.
One of the things she said in her story is nearly 40% of respondents worried that contacting 988 could lead to police involvement, mandatory hospitalization, unaffordable charges for services,
Right.
or the disclosure of the call to others. And for our community, we have
Yeah.
reason to be suspect of
Hmm.
agencies that are involved in our lives.
Right. Right.
So,
I get that, but also, and maybe we should have someone to talk about that, on to talk about and to explain who really is involved, who will come to your rescue in the event of a mental health crisis,
right,
because
right.
that is a big concern.
Yes, and what those government, county agencies, what all they really do, and what are
Hmm.
the repercussions of getting their services? Is it going to cost us something in the end?
Right.
Will
Right.
they share some information with another agencies that might affect, some
Your
of our,
job or
it's a lot that goes into that, and we need to be educated um on, well, I don't want to say trusting the system, because I don't
no,
think that's,
but also to give people enough information to so they can make that decision, and perhaps one that will end up as a bonus for everyone involved.
yeah. Well, now maybe since we're talking about mental health more and more and more, so we just that's why we need Aprylette on Thursdays.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to make a note to suggest that she does get someone who could explain the 988. Now that we've been a year into it, I remember doing this story a while ago, but also when it first started and how difficult it was for people to get this number to be part of the nine blank blank telephone system. But it's a good time as any because if
And
the numbers
and
are that low, we need
but
to know
even
about
with, also, Sybil, even with that, because you said something that really struck my heart the other day when we got off the plane, when you were saying
it.
you saw
Oh,
this child that was crying or doing something.
yeah.
And go ahead.
No, I was saying that when we were in Jamaica not too long ago, and there was a child who was acting out, and Yolanda has more knowledge about this than I do, and talking about the possibility of her being on the autism spectrum. And when she said that, it struck me because a lot of times you look at kids and just think that they're acting out, and you just
Right.
don't know, right?
That they're bad.
Right, right.
Right.
Um, but I've seen more and more children in the and it doesn't sometimes it's like just like just a repetitious noise or just running and stopping and rolling on the ground or whatever it is that is a part of their character. And I said to her, I said to you, um, that it's really interesting how differently I look at children in public
Yeah.
spaces now as a result of being made aware that it's just not a kid being bad.
Right.
It's a child in
Really is great.
the middle
That's
of
so
a crisis.
great that you chose to look at a situation differently.
Hmm.
And I think the more we talk about it, hopefully the more people can look at situations and consider another way.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is my hope as
Yeah.
well.
Hmm.
So that's cool. That was really it was enlightening. That which happened a couple of months ago when we were on the road.
Hmm.
And so please take a look at Aprillette's story. It really is very interesting. What's the 411 about the 988 mental health line? And I promise we are going to get someone on to talk about that
Good.
in on one of her Thursday shows. So let us do that. And secondly, when I was talking about the safety of our internet and our emails and what have you, what brought to mind was um, and somebody changed my headline because the headline that I wrote for this story originally was "We've been hacked," and we being the United States government.
Right.
Um, it's now been changed to Chinese hackers breached 20 plus American organizations. Um, it was revealed this week that uh, emails of certain government offices have been breached by Chinese hackers, and these are mail email servers are serviced by Microsoft.
Right.
And Microsoft was alarmed and told them of this breach that took place sometime in May or June. It gets a little sketchy as to when they found out, May or June, or sometime between May and June, which is mid-June, um, the month of June, that they have over 20 government uh, emails, and including, and as we talk about in tomorrow's newsletter, including the U.S. Commerce Secretary's emails. The State Department may have been compromised. as well as the House of Representatives email, not saying which specific representatives were compromised, but the possibility of finding out more information on that. And I really want to stay with the story because um,
Good.
when they talked about TikTok and how TikTok is being used by the Chinese government. This company out of China is working in conjunction with the Chinese government regarding using TikTok to get our secrets, to get information from us, from our children, and those adults of us who are major TikTok heads. Um, I just erased TikTok off of my social off of my phone. I don't have a TikTok. It might still be in existence, but I don't have a TikTok account. And so I want to do whatever I can to stop this. But when you got the gosh darn government being
Right.
hacked, and it's not the first time, and it won't be the last time,
Right.
but the manner in which this happened, and there's supposed to be this special sign-in key, which everybody doesn't get all willy-nilly. Not everybody can get your sign-in key if you are of a level of security. And now it seems like somebody got it, like I would give you my password for a streaming service, which you do have. So that that is kind of maddening that, first of all, it happened a couple months ago. We're just finding out about it in the middle of July.
Right.
And even though the commerce secretary may have known about it and told the Chinese government, we're on to you, even though the Secretary of Treasury Janet Yellen, in her trip to China, told them this week, we know what happened, we're on to you. That's not enough. It's not enough to be on to them, because you think about all the ways that they are trying to infiltrate our communication systems and get this information. They got spy balloons. That was, oh, look at the spy balloon. Oh, they're going to wait till it crosses the country and then they're going to shoot it down. Recently, there's been a story that the Chinese have bought up a lot of American farmland.
Mm.
And so, and not just anybody's farmland. These are farms that are very close to our military bases.
Wow. So, Sybil, before you do that, just because I'm a simple girl, I understand that the Chinese hackers breach the American organizations,
Hmm.
but tell me, what does that mean to one little girl on the south side of Fort Worth?
Well, you could say it's outside of Chicago today,
For
because here you
Chicago,
could.
right, right.
Uh,
Why is that important to me?
because it is important to us that if we break it down, if they can do this to Yolanda, if they can do it to the federal government, if they can do it to the White House, if they can do it to a member of the president's cabinet, then they very easily, because we don't have the protections of Microsoft, or the level of Microsoft protection that these organizations have, then why can't they come in and take over all of our email information? And when we do emails on a plane, people are surfing and trying to find out our information, or get our passwords, or get, or just like everything else, everything that we put in an email, everything that we put in a text, somebody can get it. Somebody can get the information and ruin us financially. um,
Okay, so that's what I'm talking about. How can they ruin me financially if they have my email address?
if you have shared any information in an email, say you were sending to buy something online, and they said, we need the last four digits of your social security, and through a process of elimination, I've seen this, run through computers where they can figure out all nine digits of your social security number. Is it 479? 3479, yeah, member numbers of your social security number,
Right.
or your banking information,
Okay.
or anything like that. And you go to your bank, online bank,
Okay.
and
Okay.
if they can spy on you, and I'm not trying to be, an alarmist, but just thinking realistically and the way our society is and the way that our government is with other countries and really Russian hackers, it's been proven and they're still, the Republicans are still fighting us in the Congress today.
Right.
Russians having had a way to change the results of the 2016 presidential election.
Right. Right.
So, between all of these guys looking over our shoulders or getting inside our communication programs, I am very suspect. And when they tell you about this, who's to say that, an email that I may have sent to the Secretary of Treasury or the Secretary of Commerce may have sent something and with all of my information and they get it and then they can run havoc on our own personal lives.
Oh my God. Okay.
And I just wanted people to be aware
Right.
because I
Well,
was I
thank
was
you.
thinking
Thank you for, because that's not something I think about.
right.
So thank you for keeping us informed.
So let me tell
I
you
think
something Yolanda thinks about. Cameron did a story about a mayor in Georgia that got arrested, and his name is Khalid Kamau. He was arrested. This is the strangest case. He has not had a good relationship with his city.
right.
He is in South Fulton, Georgia. He was arrested Saturday for breaking into a lake house in Fairburn that he said he coveted and wanted and confronted the owner of the lake house. And the owner came out with a gun, called the police, and he said, MFR, do you know who I am? It's like, you're the MFers trying to break
As,
into
as
my
we will
house.
say, not do you know who I think I am? Do you
Right,
know who
right. You know who
I
I am. Well, I know who I am, and I'm the owner of this house that you're breaking into.
am? Right.
How this all will work
Now,
itself
that's
out.
a story. Oh, Sybil, your simple girlfriend.
I I love it. We're standing in line today. She said, "What about the?" And I was like, "This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy."
Mm,
But those are some of the stories that we do in the What You Need to Know newsletter. Also, look out for the What You Need to Know newsletter and our affiliation with the Black Health Matters column. Watch out for these three summertime eye dangers and amongst them the sun.
right.
When you are, however cute your sunglasses are, make sure that they have some UV protection, and you can find out, that also when you're going out for a celebration and fireworks and all of that, swimming, all the chlorine in the pool can affect your eyes, as well as sports and for your children, goggles for them when they're swimming, when they're playing baseball or whatever, but our children don't play baseball the way they
And
used to,
girl,
from what I
she didn't
understand.
put
But
anything on here about protecting your lashes. Really?
we all have our we all have our priorities, Yolanda.
Yes.
You see why she's all I need? She's really
Okay.
the other half here.
Okay. Right. By the way, Sybil, your
Also,
lashes today is on point. They are beautiful.
oh, thank you. I don't know if you can see them through my reading glasses, but I thank you
I
very much.
can.
Yeah, thank you to Cherie White and also all of her great wellness check ideas that she comes up with and helping us to, and I need to do some stretching because I've got some hip issues, and as well as our HBCU corner and the Little Black History Facts. So please, we'd love to have you subscribe. Please go to SybilWilkes.com, give us your name and your email address. We'll have it in your email box every Monday through Friday, first thing. And it costs you absolutely nothing. So, Yolanda, do you have an idea? We didn't talk about this, about a question of the day.
Hmm. I don't.
Okay, because I'm going to move on. I'm going to give us a moment of grace there,
Okay.
and kind of think about it. And I'm going to move on to trending topics.
Okay.
What has happened today in the news? Um, I've not made a secret of the fact that one of the other things that I kind of zone in on are mass shootings and murders in this country. And
Yeah.
one of the saddest moments for me in the last year plus, Uvalde,
Right.
19 children, two teachers,
Right.
and the Buffalo Tops supermarket
Right.
mass murder.
Right.
And it was just devastating to be in the state of Texas to see the mass murders take place, and the reporting on this, and the fact that one party chose to get in there and to find answers and to get some answers. The
Right.
other party chose to go to the NRA convention that was being held that same weekend.
Remember that. Yeah.
And so, and in the state of New York, the governor there, Kathy Hochul, made a point to make some changes in the way that gun safety laws are implemented, and as well as to the use of the government to file charges against this man, this teenage boy, Peyton Gendron. So now the Buffalo is still seeking recompense in this, and the loved ones of the mass shooting victims have sued social media, gun, and body armor companies. Think about that: social media, guns, and body armor companies, three different companies. The families of those murdered in the May 2022 mass murder, racially motivated mass murder in Buffalo, filed what their lawyers described as a landmark lawsuit alleging social media companies, firearm manufacturers, and body armor makers all helped the teenage killer load that gun.
Hmm.
The lawsuit, I'm sorry, you were going to say something?
No, I'm just trying to track where they're going, but I'm sure you'll share.
The lawsuit filed in the state Supreme Court in Buffalo names big tech companies such as defendants, including Meta, the parent company of Facebook, because he live streamed, Amazon,
Oh.
Instagram, Reddit, and Google. He got amped up. A lot of people have said in his racist ideologies
Oh.
as a result of following and being a part of those conversations in the basement of his parents' house. So they went against Meta, the parent company of Facebook, Amazon, Instagram, Reddit, and Google, the parent company of YouTube. Also named as defendants were Vintage Firearms, the Endicott, New York gun dealer, where mass shooter Peyton Gendron legally purchased a semi-automatic Bushmaster XM15 used in the rampage, and RMA Armament, the online company that sold him the body armor. Do you remember pictures of him with the helmet on and he was
Yes.
all armored down? And so they're going from head to toe. They are there to try to make some sense, at least give some kind of comfort financially to the victims, the 10 people
Now,
who lost their
who's
lives.
bringing the lawsuit? The family of the victims?
The family of those killed, yeah. And I'm not sure about those that were wounded because there were three people who were wounded in the attack as well. But this is the mass murder victims.
Okay.
Give me your thought. What's your initial thought?
I just don't know to what avail. I mean, I know to bring attention, so that's good because you brought
Mhm.
attention, but I wonder if there is really any will they get anything from it?
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
not.
you can sue Meta because he live streamed on Facebook, but what was the negligence on Facebook's part?
Well, I guess that at some point, because when he was live streaming and people saw this, and from my understanding, they may have reported that this was still going live, and they did not stop it.
Oh, hold on. This look at what Tyrone said.
You can't say ish on Facebook without being cut off, but you can learn how to kill people on it. No sense at all. You're absolutely right.
Okay.
Tyrone Bourne says that on
All
Facebook.
right. Thank you,
Yeah,
Tyrone. Okay.
yeah,
Okay. That's
that's
good.
true. I
Yeah.
mean, look at all the people that have, they don't mind cutting folks off when they're angry, or saying something that they don't agree with.
Okay. 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 Oh well. I'm with them. So just peace and blessings to them, to their family. I
Yeah, yeah,
just
I'm with you.
peace
I
to the
hope
family.
peace of mind, and
Right.
if they can do something or make a step towards progress in stopping this kind of madness with gun safety as well as, and I know it's the First Amendment and all of that crap that goes along, and here we are, making find use of the First Amendment, but there is a way to do this and a way not to do it, and knowing how the Supreme Court has kind of spun the whole First Amendment thing.
So,
That's
Sydney, let me
how.
ask you a question, and maybe you or our audience will know, because I'm not really on social media, so I don't know how that works. So, right now, you and I are having a conversation. So, if I chose to stand up and I don't know, take my clothes off and
Well,
do,
that's for you is like
but with Facebook, cut this recording off immediately.
probably
They will. So, it's somebody that's watching us that will
there's
monitor.
supposed to be there's supposed to be
Oh,
monitors.
wow. Okay. So if I do something obscene,
Oh, somebody will
immediately,
report you, and
I
after a
know, but
while.
in the moment, if I have an audience and I'm getting it in, do they cut it off?
Well, it's like, well, hold off, don't anybody call just yet.
Girl,
Wait a minute, wait, let's not be so hasty.
all right, I'm just trying to see how this situation works. Yeah.
Unless it's your husband said, "What the? Hey, Facebook."
You silly girl. Wow.
Yeah.
Hold on one
Um,
second. Let's see what Manuel Murphy is saying.
our friend Manuel on Facebook says, "I propose federal gun law legislation, possession of unregistered guns, 10-year no parole, commit crimes with a gun, 20 years, commit murder or violent crimes with a gun, life with no parole." I like it.
Dang. Okay.
I'm
See ya.
with you. CM Williams, they definitely monitor on Facebook. I've been put in the timeout
Oh,
corner a few times. What did you do?
right. What? Yeah. What'd you do?
You got put on timeout. What did you do? I wonder.
Okay.
Wow. While we wait for you to tell us what you did and confess your crimes, uh, or not crimes, but Facebook crimes. Ooh. People are cleaning up after the storm near Chicago, and after fierce winds and a possibility of numerous tornadoes touching down, ripped roofs from buildings, down trees, and sent residents scrambling for safety as sirens sounded. And hopefully they will have. I haven't heard about any loss of life, so that is a good thing,
Amen.
obviously. Are you concerned that the Hollywood actors are now on strike, Yolanda?
I saw that. I was thinking about this, Sybil. With this strike, it is so much, and what brought me to this conclusion, a thought, is yesterday when Quinn has just got turned on to Law and Order season
Yeah,
one. It
Chicago
is
Med.
it is so much content that I'm wondering if we're gonna miss it for real though.
Right.
And what's interesting is I saw Bob Iger, who used to be our boss. I
Yeah.
saw Bob Iger on, and he said what the actors are asking for is just not realistic. It just does not work for what they're asking for. That's just not how it works. And he was almost sitting up smoking a cigarette and just he didn't say let them eat cake,
But
but
he might as well have said that.
yeah, he was like, so this is going to be interesting, and it seems like they are positioning themselves. They
Hmm.
the man in that situation. that eventually, when they
Mhm.
have to eat, about a
Mhm.
maybe some Pampers, or they'll be back.
Right.
So it is going to be interesting to watch this play out. But in the
And
meantime, won't we get a whole lot more reality TV?
yeah,
Because production will continue to go.
right.
Somebody right now is figuring out some way to produce something to go in those slots, right?
Right.
I don't really know how that works.
Right. That I mean, Bravo is a perfect example. They will not slow down with all of their Real Housewives
Right,
syndicate, series
right,
of
right.
programs. But let me tell you this: Fran Drescher is the head of the Screen Actors Guild. Um, she excoriated Hollywood executives in a speech today announcing the union's intention to strike, and they will be on the strike lines tomorrow, by the way,
Wow.
after failed contract negotiations with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers. She said, "We are the victims here. We are victimized by very greedy entity
Mm.
of executives, TV and movie executives." And she said that they are victimized by a very greedy entity. I am shocked, by the way, that people we have been in business with are treating us. She is the president of SAG-AFTRA, who leads the union, and she went on to say that I cannot believe it, quite frankly, how far apart we are on so many things. And she said they plead poverty, that they're losing money left and right while giving hundreds of millions of dollars to their CEOs.
But hasn't that always been the case? What's different now?
The level of money, the
Okay. The
the
level of greed. So there's always
yeah,
been greed, but
yeah.
this level of greed is just egregious.
Yeah, I'm wondering what it is. I forgot how much they're paying Bob Iger when they brought him back. But it's a ish load of money.
Wow. Wow.
And to wait and just kind of,
Right. Yeah, just wait them out.
yeah, you're gonna go to the food banks, you're gonna do what you gotta do. Uh but we're going to, we'll just wait you out.
Wow. Because they already got their fat bonus checks.
Oh, for sure.
And they still making money off the reruns.
Right.
You
Right.
know, those,
Because we're still paying for those streaming services.
and on network,
Right.
Tide and Coke are still selling.
Yep.
Wow. Oh, this is ugly.
Yep. It is ugly. You're absolutely right. Um, there has not been an industry-wide work stoppage by a labor group since 1980 in the days of Ronald Reagan. So the writers, the actors, and SAG and AFTRA and the Writers Guild all on strike.
Manuel Murphy told us that the premiere week for 2023 will be delayed, and soaps would be down for a matter of weeks. But get this, a lot of us don't watch TV in real
Right.
time anyway.
Right.
And
Hello.
so,
Hang on one second. Yes. Knocking at the door.
are you serious?
I have the do not disturb on, but they still,
Well, maybe you're too loud. Or
they're loud.
maybe it's the people from Facebook. I'm I'm serious because Sybil, we actually just going back to that right quick. Janice Ferguson said,
I know of someone else that used crackers, not in a negative way, and they got put in timeout.
and
So
then Sybil, look at this one.
Manuel Murphy said, last week on this show, I was suspended for an hour. I got a message. I couldn't figure out what I did. Gwen,
Wow. So
Manuel, I'm sorry for something that we made you happen. I don't know what it was, but that is crazy.
yeah, so we don't know who's looking. It all is goes in together. Something just woo, have a cigarette and just relax.
And shut so um that's what Eddie Murphy told Was it who told Eddie Murphy, or Eddie Murphy told somebody that about Bill Cosby told them about cussing.
I remember that.
I'm gonna smile and shut
Mhm.
up.
Right.
Yolanda, what do you think about over-the-counter birth control pills? Don't need a doctor's appointment. You don't need a prescription.
I like it. I think it's a good idea. I'm open
U.S.
to it.
They have approved the first over-the-counter birth control pill, which will let American women and girls buy contraceptive medication from the same aisle as we can get our tampons and our aspirin and eye
I
drops.
like that. What do you think?
I'm not so sure. I think that well, this is the old fashioned me. I think everybody needs that first introduction to a doctor. A girl needs an introduction to a gynecologist to go through a physical exam to find out what all of that is, to have the talk with the physician, find out what's
Okay, looks like you froze. I really don't think Sybil went. Oh my God, my battery's about to run out too. But I don't think Sybil went. And
you and I both went. Um,
no, it's you. It's not me.
okay.
But my battery's about to run out. So you
Okay.
got about 3 more minutes with me.
Okay, so we'll run through this, but and we'll bring this up another time. But I think that there is a process, and there's something to be said for uh, an introduction to a good gynecologist, knowing what the procedures are, and working out what is the best
But Sybil, hold
contraception
on for
for
a
you.
second. Don't let that go.
Okay.
I'm gonna give my plug because I think that is a privilege. What about young people who don't have good relationships with their parents, whose parents might not be open to a conversation, and they want to be protected because they're going to have sex?
Right. I think that's also true, but that's also why we need to donate to organizations like Planned Parenthood in order um, to have those clinics available for people, young people especially, to get contraception
Can
advice
you go to
or
Planned
guidance.
Parenthood without a parent?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So planning so you can be the parent when you're ready to be a parent is
Oh,
yeah.
so a 15-year-old can walk in there and get services without parents' consent?
I'm not sure what the age of consent is right now, but I do know that I've had friends
Oh,
uh,
wow.
back
Okay.
in the day who went to Planned Parenthood because
Oh,
their
okay.
parents
Oh,
did not
good.
think that it was the right thing for them to do.
Okay.
You got your
Okay.
plug?
I'm plugged in. Yeah, I'm here.
You're good to go.
Yes. Sorry
I'm
about
really curious what people are. The hormone based pills have long been the most common form of birth control used by tens of millions of women since the 1960s. Until now, all of that was required was a prescription. Now they just go and pick it off the shelf and buy it.
God. Ooh, that's a hard. Well, we got some comments. Let me just put the
Okay.
comments up. Let's see.
Great point. And yes to Planned Parenthood. So as our friend Michelle Lynn Summerall on Facebook. TYO Dimples on YouTube. Yes, the young folks need family planning preparation. I think that might be the problem. Charlotte Bow and Bellamy, they should notify their doctor first, and some girls start early at the age of 9. Yeah. And they're
Wow.
starting earlier and earlier too.
Well, you can't start before 9, can you?
I'm not sure. You
Okay.
know, one of the court cases about abortion got a doctor in trouble. I think was it Indiana or Ohio? The doctor was going to perform an abortion on a 10-year-old.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and as a result of a relationship with a rape
Right. I remember
uh,
that.
with a family member,
I remember that.
raped
Yeah.
by a family member.
And then on the other side, Sybil, you're right, because you can have complications with birth control.
Yeah, that's messing with your
Yeah,
hormones.
yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, I don't know.
And nobody tells you, okay,
Right,
because you take it, you're not looking at the instructions. You're
right.
just going and unless you look it up on Google.
And do birth control have dosage and what's your
Right.
dose? Yeah,
Right.
okay, you're
And
right. Well,
sometimes they tell you, take it for 7 days and then you're off for, or, your period should stop. And it's just, there's
okay,
a
you're right.
lot,
No, we can't do that.
a lot of
Okay,
answers.
close that door.
Well, it's open
It's
now.
midnight. Oh, it's going to
It's
happen?
as a result of today. This was the announcement. They
Oh.
announced today that it's cleared for the once a day O pill to be sold without a prescription.
Oh. Well, Janet Ferguson says so there's no age limit to the purchase, the over-the-counter birth control pill?
As of right now, I have not seen that. I'll
Yes.
keep looking for it though,
Okay,
Janice.
please keep us informed.
Yeah. Um, Yolanda, you and I have not been. I can't say that you haven't. I don't know. But they had an incident. We've been affiliated with someone who has been on Frontier Airlines. Just imagine this: Frontier had to divert its plane to Denver after a fight disrupted the flight today. A
What?
plane full of Las Vegas bound passengers ended up being diverted to Denver International Airport. This was last night after an apparent fight broke out involving some passengers, and apparently they knew each other.
Oh my God.
Uh,
Were they from Atlanta?
no, this was from the Frontier airline from Philadelphia, left
I'm
at
feeling.
10:30 Tuesday night. Was scheduled to arrive in Vegas around 8:40. The flight ended up being about an hour late because the plane had to reroute to Denver when two passengers traveling together were deplaned and
Oh, Sybil. That's a great cliffhanger. Y'all hold on. She'll be back. Maybe. Oh man. I'm just very curious as to I mean, what does that look like? Hold on. Carolyn Jones Jameson says that they're hood. That's why the flights are so cheap. Even though I had no idea that Frontier Airline was a cheap airline.
right, until we needed it. And then
Yeah, so they are the same as
yeah,
Spirit. I did
yeah.
not know that. I just thought Frontier was regional.
No, no. I guess it goes it's a very popular flight to take into Vegas and
Right,
across the
right.
country.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, the two women started arguing loudly.
Wow, Michelle Lynn Summerall says that it's cheaper than Spirit. I think that can't be because Spirit is is $9 to fly across the country. Good night. Well, if they hood, they hood. You just gotta grin and bear it. C.M. Williams says, when I do fly, which is seldom these days, I tend to stick with the majors. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Uh, Carolyn Jones Jameson says Spirit and Frontier are cousins.
And they're fighting cousins too. And Carolyn, I like your avatar. That's really cute. Yolanda, I think we are hitting the prime time for people using the internet.
Okay,
So,
baby. All right. Well, I'm glad you let me come on today. Can I come back?
of course, what are you doing Monday?
Oh, you really don't want me because you got your funny guys. You really don't need me.
Oh, Huggy, you're so funny.
Right.
um, let's close out with your jewel today. Just
Okay.
because people say they love you, that doesn't give them the right to interrupt your emotional and mental well being. Please don't allow it.
Amen.
Those are great
Isn't that,
words, aren't they?
isn't that the truth? Simple people. Oh, I love you. I love, but they're mean and rude.
Yeah.
No, don't love me then.
And can I
Mm-mm.
tell you how great it is when people see us and they say, "I love your meditation moment. I love your
I
jewel."
know.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's really
that
cool.
makes me happy.
You're
Yes,
making a real impact. You really
yes,
are. So,
I think so. Thank you.
congratulations to you. Thanks everybody for sticking it out with us. The girlfriends having a little confab, a couple floors apart here in
Right.
Chicago. I look forward to seeing all the AKAs tomorrow, and we'll see you all back here on Monday. Take care.
Bye.
Aloha. Thank you for participating.